The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, welcome to the show. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. Here I am. It's Nikki Glaser. I am back in St. Louis, Missouri, in our studio. So happy to be back home. I don't even remember the last time I was here. I walked in the studio and there was like a setup for, I think when I did the Bethany Frankel podcast, I just like left it and there was a lot to do this morning to rearrange. But I'm back. And with me is Anya, Noah, and Brian Frange. Back again. You heard him yesterday. He's back. And he's very close up to the video camera, like you look like you're, zooming with us from Ukraine in a bunker. I mean, it really
you
is.
look like Lady Gaga at the Oscars with that weirdly close camera angle. Did you see that?
Oh, wait.
It was insane.
Of her without makeup on?
Yeah, but it was like, and now Lady Gaga. And then it closes up way closer than anyone would ever think. And then it's just like, it's like this, like her singing the whole time, like this.
Just like on her
close
lips.
up on her lips.
I kind of like
lips.
it.
It was cool.
Her
it was just
lips
jarring.
that have so much filler in them, but she's not ashamed of that.
I did see the clip of her helping that man up. She helped that
isn't
man
that so nice of her doing a normal thing that last time, what did she do? Wasn't there some like old woman on stage with her or something, or some old man, and she was like, oh yeah, okay, so what did she do with Liza? She just like didn't kick her down a flight of stairs or something, and so we're all just shocked. Like, why is it?
I don't know which flashcard is coming.
That's a good Liza.
Gaga's like, I got you.
She did it in a way that was like, I am demonstrating to the rest of you celebrities that you're supposed to be nice to people. Like, she did it in a very, like, look, I'm not just going to walk past this man who tripped. I'm going to go and help him, and I'm going to do it in a way that shows everyone else the role model. Oh.
Yeah, she knew him. Like, he's a photographer. She's familiar with him. Like, my friend messaged me and was like, she knows him. And then did you see him, like, kind of pat her ass, and she, like, didn't care for that? Did you see that aftermath of it?
No.
So she helps him, and then he kind of like, he's just like, she's wearing this very low back thing within like kind of like netting around it. So her like butt is kind of out, but not. And he kind of like pats her. I think he was just so confused, like embarrassed with what just happened. I think that it's going to be a new thing of photographers falling so that they can get attention and get this amazing shot, because that was a huge moment. People sold that footage. I mean, that was a big thing. Can I just say another thing about Lady Gaga? There is a lawsuit against her by the woman who gave her dogs back. So Lady Gaga said, I will give $500,000. I think it was $500,000 for a return of my dogs safely, no questions asked.
What?
Now, we all know what that is about. Like when someone says no questions asked, it's like, if you stole my dogs, I'm not going to prosecute you. Just give me my dogs back, right? Like, this is a thing that is used with, if I ever got my dog stolen, I would do a no questions asked too. I just want my dog back. I'm not going to get you in trouble. You have to stay true to that in order for it to work for other people. So right now she's being sued by the woman who, her stepson, I guess, is the one who stole her dogs. And she found out, and so she returned Lady Gaga's dogs. Now this woman is being charged with being an accomplice at some point, but she never got the $500,000. I'm sorry. If you say no questions asked, $500,000, you can't renege on that. You can't. You have to go through with it, no matter if they're the criminal or not. And I know it's not fair. I know everyone's like, how dare this woman sue? It was part of that's how you get your dog back, is that you promised $500,000, no questions asked. And now the boy who cried wolf, no criminals are going to trust that now. So now people aren't going to get their dogs back when they say no questions asked. Thoughts?
What kind of dogs?
It doesn't matter. I mean, obviously designer fucking stupid dogs.
I think they were Frenchies.
that have breathing issues.
They're
What?
targeted dogs that are worth a lot of money on the market, and it's not just Lady Gaga's dogs; it's dogs of that breed. I forgot what breed it was.
Yeah, it's like
Frenchies.
English bulldog. French bulldog. Yeah, the ones that have breathing issues because people like the way they look or whatever. It's really a cool practice that we're all.
The boy who called Frenchie.
if you have
Yeah.
to, if you're gonna give a reward for your dogs back, you're gonna have to give caveats like, and this is not like the Lady Gaga situation.
Right.
Yes, and that's a long poster.
That's
There's
too
too
long.
many words. No one's gonna read it, and
The
I don't know.
FBI is going to be doing that now from now on. I mean, how are they going to catch criminals?
Well, but everyone's so mad at this woman. How dare she ask for that? She was part of it. It's like, yeah, we know that was part of it. That's why you put no questions asked. If it was just an innocent person turning in dogs, you wouldn't need to put that. And so now you're going back on it. This isn't Succession. You can't go back on everything you say that you're going to do. What are you, fucking Logan Roy? Stick to your word. Your word is gold. I'm annoyed by it, but I think that a lot of people would disagree with me. In the Reddit threads I was reading, people are like, how dare this woman? She, because she is now being charged with
Oh, that's
aiding and abetting the stealing the dogs, because she maybe had a part in it. It doesn't matter if she had a part in it. She returned the dogs safely. She gets the $500,000. I'm sorry.
But you know what they say, Nikki? You can't make a tomlet.
Without breaking some Gregs. I get it. I get it.
Maybe it was just the $500,000 was a little bit overzealous. That sounds like an emotional number, not a logic. Like, I bet you they would have returned the dogs for like $50,000, and then she would have probably paid it.
Yeah, but
Grandma,
oh yeah,
I think Grandma, I've got $500,000.
we're doing
Grandma.
an impression of Lady Gaga and her.
I'm doing an impression of Nikki doing an impression.
Yeah, that's true.
And what about the dog walker that got shot?
Yeah,
I mean,
what's
the
going
whole
on with him?
situation sucks, and it was very upsetting, and it happened in Hollywood. I have, my friend lives like right around the corner from where it happened, and I'm frequently over there, and I walk my dog.
No
over
one
there.
wants your dog. It's a rescue.
Yeah, my dog is a 11-year-old Chihuahua mix that I don't think anybody would want to steal.
No, exactly, and that's why you did the right thing. You have a dog. I'm. Sometimes my dad left the car door open when we went to the grocery store the other day, and Luigi was in there, and I go, lock it. He goes, no one wants this dog, and I go, that's a good point. I mean, Luigi's beautiful, but what a burden to take on. You're not gonna resell Luigi unless you would want Luigi. I don't know, unless you knew about Luigi and how sweet he was. First glance, you're not gonna want Luigi, even though he's beautiful, but he's not gonna be. He's not a commodity on the market. But speaking of dogs, I've been messaging this shelter nonstop about this dog Huey that I saw on Pet Finder, which is the Tinder for you getting matched with an animal. And I found this little Chihuahua. They won't write me back. I got to call them today and maybe go to the shelter. But I'm scared to go to the shelter because I don't want to see sad dogs. I don't want to see all the pit bulls that are just like sad in the corner. That's why I like rescues. They go in and they see the stuff and they get the dogs out. That's why I always am so reverential of rescues, because they see all the stuff that I don't want to see, and then they dress up the dog and they groom it and they get, fix it up, but they see horrible things that I don't know if I want to go. I will want to save them all. Did you get your dog from a rescue, Brian, or did you go to the Shelt?
I got it from a rescue from the Real Bark.
The Real Bark.
Echo
Okay.
Bark. There's a store called the Real Bark, and then the rescue is called Echo Bark. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And no, I used to volunteer at an animal shelter on Long Island.
Oh,
And
wow.
and it's definitely really sad because there's just some dogs that just don't get adopted for whatever reason, and they're like amazing dogs, and you go there and you walk them and they're like amazing, and they just sit there for years, but they're so happy when you come walk them. They like get to know you like you're their guy.
So you would walk dogs?
Yeah, I would
for
go
them?
into the shelter, and you can volunteer to take the dogs out for walks. Like you go like 3 days a week and you walk them around, and and I also did like training where you can be a man that they attack.
What?
Did you get to wear that cool big suit?
You wear a cool big suit, and then you go in there and you
You get to dress like Brendan Fraser in The Whale?
Yeah,
It's a long
exactly
process.
I use the same exact suit actually that they used in The Whale, and the dog says I didn't like that movie, and then they attack you. And that's pretty much the point of the whole
And then
thing.
you have to give a really tearful speech at the end.
Yeah. You have to look really unstable. Like, I mean, poor Brendan Fraser. I'm happy everything's working for him, but when the fanfare falls, when the fireworks are going up, there's fireworks, and now the ashes are starting to fall. There's going to be, this is a set. Someone should check in on Brendan Fraser this week.
Yeah.
Next week,
wellness
actually.
check.
Because this
And
week is
his
going to be
children.
good. It's still going to be like really exciting for him. But based on my own depression and when big things happen and then it starts to just like everyone doesn't really care anymore, because inevitably no one cares anymore after you do anything in life, literally anything, especially women who are getting married, Anya not included because you are, level-minded. And Brian. Brian's getting married in June. Anya's getting married in July. Noah's getting married TBD. But like, I always feel bad for women after weddings. Like, there's gonna be a fallout where no one cares about you anymore, and this whole thing that was your life planning is no longer there. And I think Brendan Fraser, people do wellness check for sure on that unstable guy. And I'm calling him unstable as someone who is unstable myself many times, and other people have called unstable online. So I get it. It's not nice to do, but he is not. I can't watch his acceptance speech for the Oscars. It's just too triggering of like, this guy is not well.
There are so many whale metaphors too. If you listen, he wrote that speech with some nautical metaphors.
No way. Did he really?
Yes. So it's hard to get swept up in the emotion of it because you're like, this is not off the top of his head.
Oh my God.
And yet there are tears, there's vocal quivering. Then he thanks his children, I think. And I'm like, I'm worried about his kids because their dad is not stable.
They'll be fine. I mean, they're rich, at least that. But are you feeling?
Somebody should do a wellness check on the photographer who fell next week. He's just going to be a photographer again.
I mean, that's a really good point.
It's true.
I'm not the guy who fell anymore.
But isn't that why people get, like, I really do. I used to have a joke about it, but people get, let's just say people who have simpler lives, and simple is not, it sounds negative, but your wedding is like kind of the thing that you went to college to go find your husband, and then you get a husband, you get married, and then you have kids, and then you get attention for that. And we're all seeking attention as someone, I'm just saying, so I obviously seek attention. I found a way to get it like fucking mainlined to my aorta. Is that a fucking vein? But like women, what you do is you get in a relationship and then you go, oh my God, when is he going to say I love you? Then he says I love you. Then you're like, when are you moving in together? Oh, we're moving in together. Oh, exciting. Then you get engaged. Oh my God, we got engaged. Then you get married. Oh my God, we got married. And then you're like, oh, now we're pregnant. Oh my God, we got pregnant. You have a kid. Oh my God, we got pregnant again. Another kid. Then you go, and then you get divorced. And then you do it all over again. Like, we need to keep getting, because then, and I do believe that, because I do it. Every time I finish something, I'm like, what's next? I can't celebrate it. It's never enough. I need to go on to the next thing. But I feel like you guys, Brian, your fiance, Allie, I don't know her that well, but just hearing you guys talk about the wedding, it doesn't seem like her life is like wedding and she's going to be okay. She kind of has an identity beyond it.
Well, I have a solution for you and all those people. I know the answer.
What is it?
You got to start you got to start planning your funeral.
Yeah.
Whoa, dude.
Oh my God, I'll do a paperless post.
Yeah, do an invite, find a caterer, you get a DJ, and then when the funeral happens, you're not going to have any postpartum depression.
Oh my God, that's such a good
You'll be
point.
dead.
Yeah, you'll be dead.
I'm going to go on Tyler Henry's show when I'm deceased, and I'm going to complain about how bored I am, just to get more attention. I'm going to do a press tour through Tyler Henry scribbling.
On Tyler Henry.
Wait a second. That's a really good point.
Yeah, you go get a dress. You go get a fitting. You do a fitting for your funeral dress that you're going to wear in your coffin.
Yeah, I think about my death all the time. And I'm very, I really did tell Chris, because last week I had a really bad paparazzi photo. Not paparazzi, but like red carpet photo. I wish that guy would have fallen. I wish every single photographer who was taking pictures of me at Ted Lasso would have fallen. And it would have been blurry. But I was really worried. It's still the most recent picture of me that's, Getty Images, which sucks because I went to this thing over the weekend where I looked gorgeous, and I'm like, I'm refreshing Getty constantly, be like, can I die? Because they're gonna pull the most recent, and not that I plan on dying, but like I'm crossing streets a little bit more cautiously. I was a little bit worried on the plane yesterday, crash wise, because I even told Chris, I said, I'm not kidding you. If I die tragically, you cannot let them run the Ted Lasso photos. You just can't. You gotta, and I just need, because if you guys, listeners, if you're not famous, you'll just pick out a picture right now that you put in your obituary, because that's gonna be the picture that they're gonna use. Like, pick it out now. You can, but I'm not gonna have control over it.
If they don't use that picture, they're gonna use your graduation photo.
Or the most recent photo of you, which is bullshit for old people. If you're an old person and you don't like the way you look right now, you better tell your family and friends, this is the picture I like of myself from 1977. Use this because this was just as much me as this old woman or old man is right now. Like, I used to get upset because, when Barbara Bush died, I'm like, can we get one picture of her in her 20s? Was she ever in her 20s, or did she always look like she was born in 1920? Like, every single photo of her I've never known her to look young, but she was a young woman.
The opposite. I think it's sad when someone dies and they're 90 and then they only use like the 20-year-old picture of them. It's like they had 70 years after that. You can't find a flattering one in their 60s.
I don't like the picture of them when they're like 90 in a wheelchair and they're just like, they look like that. They should be, remember on Today Show used to do like celebrate 100-year-olds' birthdays? And they would flash the picture, and it would always it was always people who didn't know there was a picture being taken of them. It just looked like they were just like staring in the corner. They're senile. They're losing their mind. Like, don't use that photo. Like, and use a pretty picture of them. But I get what you're saying, Anya. Like, they have a full life after that. Just pick your picture that you want run, because we're all going to die. And if you want to have a nice little photo spread in the local newspaper, which no one reads because everything's digital, pick out your photo. I have a playlist for my, funeral of like when you show the slideshow. I do want, I hope you had the time of your life. I do want that. It really worked in the Seinfeld finale. It was also played at the funeral of my friend, and it really brought down the house in terms of tears. I just think it's going to be a good one. I would like to use that. I want to say that.
The Seinfeld finale.
I want to use In My Life, The Beatles. I would like that one to be a part of it. The slideshow is going to be pretty long. It's going to be about 7 songs. They're going to run out of photos.
I have She's a Jar clocked also.
Yeah, She's a Jar. That's going to happen. That might be like the procession when my dad walks me down the aisle with my casket.
Oh my God, just EJ.
Are you going to do a first dance too after that?
Well, proper body up.
Oh my corpse. God. Oh my God. I saw something on Reddit last night where people thought there was a fire because there was this black smoke like flying in the, like, just huge plumes of black smoke. And so this person, went to go find the source of it to be like, what's burning down? And it was a crematorium. And they usually burn bodies at night so you can't see it. But this was like they were backed up or something. So you just saw the black smoke in the air. Isn't that fucking scary? Yeah. I don't even think about that. Yes, dude. But we all
in the in memoriam at the Oscars, did you watch that at all?
Left off a lot of people, I heard.
Yeah. Anne Heche.
How do you leave off Anne Heche and Mira Sorvino's dad, and then there was one other guy.
The woman who was killed in the movie that Alec Baldwin was in.
Oh my God.
You had one job. Oh, Helena Hutchins. Well, she died. Was she maybe in the last one? Because she died in September or something of 2021.
Ah, okay.
Well, we have a lot to talk about, including more Oscar thoughts. We're gonna go to break. We're back. We're here with Brian Frange, Anya Marina, and we'll be back right after this. Okay, we're back. I just last night got into the Murdaugh Murders. Well, how do you say their name? Murdaugh. No, it's not Murdaugh.
Series. I had to wait for Alec Murdaugh to say his own name, and he says Alec Murdaugh.
It's Murdaugh. Murdaugh. Did you watch it, Noah? Have you seen it?
No, but I've seen like stuff on it.
Stuff on it. It's not that good. Sorry. Everyone loved it. I was a little bit, listen, I watched all 3 episodes, but by the end it was fine. it was interesting, but I think that they didn't spend enough time on, like, I don't know why. I don't know how he did it. Did he hire a hitman to kill his wife and son, or did he do it? What do we think?
I think he did it.
He did it, you think?
I think he did it. I think his son was recording him because he was probably fighting with his wife. His son recorded him, and then his
Wait,
son
why
was
do you
in the
know
ro-
that? What is that? Where's that come from?
His son has a video of his father talking to his mother angrily, and they won't tell us what's in the video. But it's
Wait, was
right
that in the
before the son
documentary?
is killed. Yes.
Oh, well, maybe I didn't finish it. Okay.
It's right
Did you see
before-
Murdaugh, Brian?
I didn't see it. No, I mean, this is the every time you ask me if I saw something, I do watch things.
No, I know.
I
It's
think
okay.
that-
That I
You
hadn't
watch
seen it till last
possums
night.
in your backyard.
Yeah, this weekend was
you
completely-
possum cam
You've been busy.
24/7.
24/7.
You don't have time to watch.
I'm on the 5th
You're
season
saving
of Possum
animals.
Cam now, and I gotta say, it's really gone downhill since the possum left.
Fifth season, the possum's not moving the whole time. It's pretty stagnant. Oh my god.
Well, wait for it. He wakes up.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's a huge twist. The finale. But anyway, I watched Murdaugh last night when I got home. I just got a new couch and it is so awesome. I was like, I've never wanted to like sleep on my couch. I'm not someone who ever would sleep on a couch. I think it's uncomfortable. I don't get it. But this is like a bed couch.
Oh my
Instead
God,
of freezing my
congrats.
eggs, I bought a couch. I spent $6,000 on a fucking couch. That, by the way, I got this couch because my friend Sarah Lena has this couch. I went to her house, I saw her couch, and I was like, I already ordered Kirsten's couch. By the way, I only get things for my house that like other people have, and I trust that my friends who have good taste, I just go, okay, I'll get that, right? Like I don't have taste in my own. So I got Kirsten's couch, and then I went to Sarah Lena's, and I was like, cancel the order. This is the couch. And also Sarah Lena was like, girl, this couch is $3,200. I just got this. And I'm like, this couch was $3,200? Mind you, she got the floor sample and she got like a huge discount for some reason. I think it's because she is a supermodel. It's just like she was just like, girl, you got, and she just like is a savvy consumer. So she just got a like she's just good. And then I order it and it's $6,000. I'm just like, how did this happen? I know I had delivery fee. She like found a flatbed truck and had some guy deliver it probably for free. Like I had to just, but it is worth it. It's beautiful. It's too big for my living room. It should be in a multi-million-dollar home that has a lot of space. So it's like a couch for like a rich person in a, fairly modest living room.
Really?
But
Are you
man, it was
like
sleep.
tiptoeing around it, like trying to get your body around it and the
It's
wall?
just huge. It's too big for the room for sure. It just looks it's nice though, but it's so cozy. Chris and I will never have to touch each other again on the couch. That's nice for him. Old pillow fort. He builds a fort of pillows between us at night, Brian. That's just a thing like that he does. I have to like sneak my hand through the pillows like a weird, like a British garden snake, like through the rocks to access him. And then, so yeah, he'll enjoy
And her
that. So
hand
we got a
gets
bed
bit
couch.
by the snake.
Well,
Yeah,
me and my fiance Allie, we sleep in separate beds.
Do you have sleep apnea or what's happening?
No, we just don't want to be in the same bed. We want to sleep. We prefer
Like next to each other, same beds. Like some people put double
Like
beds
an I-
together.
like an I Love Lucy, where they're just
Like
two twin
Lucy and Desi.
No. Like sleep. Like they're touching, but they're separate units, so that when you
No, we have separate beds, separate rooms.
Separate
we don't,
rooms?
That's cool.
We have
I
separate
like
rooms
this.
and we have separate couches.
wait, do you just
Where's
not
the-
live together? Is that what we're just deducing here?
I live in Tennessee and she lives in Nebraska.
So that's a weird way to say that it's a long distance relationship.
It's a long distance relationship. I've never actually met her. She I saw pictures online. No, we have separate beds, separate rooms, and it's wonderful.
How
And
did
it's
you get to that? Did it start that way
I
with
said,
you two?
I lived with your boyfriend's brother, Tim.
Yeah.
And the moment that he said we decided to be roommates, I laid down the ground rules. One of the first things I ever said to Tim was, "We are getting separate dishes. If your dishes are dirty in the sink, not my problem. I'm going to have clean dishes." And then we had separate dishes the whole time, and we
Great.
never fought about dishes. So then when Allie moved, when we moved in together, I don't know who to say. I didn't move in with her. She didn't move in. We moved in together. I said, we're doing separate beds. And she's like, really? And I was like, you don't understand. It makes everything so much better. We both have different sleep schedules. We sleep differently. Jack sleeps in the bed with my dog, and it works out great. Works out great.
I think he doesn't have a separate bed. he's
Jack sleeps. Jack
does he have separate dishes? Nope, same dishes.
What's this sleep schedule? Still can't talk. What's their sleep schedule?
Anya has temporary veneers, by the way. So if you hear her slurring, it's because
Wanting to kill herself.
I generally wake up early, and if Allie's not going to work, she'll sleep in late. And like on the weekends, she likes to sleep in, and I like to wake up early and start running around the house.
Okay, let me just lob some questions your way. Or just lob some things that because I'm on board with this. I listen. I'm someone who doesn't like commitment. I don't even want to live with my partner yet. It just seems like too much. It's kind of scary. I probably would do the same thing. I want Chris to move into my building and live near me. But I do after we when we go to bed and we do our thing, which is just do the crossword puzzle together. No, instead of sex right now, I would say most of our time in bed, Chris and I are playing spelling bee or Wordle or crossword puzzles. But spelling bee is our new thing, and I got Anya into it too. The New York Times spelling bee. It's like Boggle, but it's really fun. Anyway, it's so hard and it's fun. But that's what we usually do. We play spelling bee separately, and then we share our words that we found, and then we reach a genius level, and then we feel accomplished, and then I sneak my hand through the snake. I go, I'm gonna get it, and then he goes, don't get it, and then we kind of giggle, and then we go to sleep. I enjoy in the middle of the night. If I go to the bathroom and I come back, I guess he's not he's a really heavy sleeper. So if he wakes up, he kind of just goes hi, and he sticks his head up and he just gives me his lips, and I just give him a kiss, and then we go back to sleep. I like those intimate moments in the middle of the night. Sometimes when I can't sleep, I like to watch his back rise and fall as he breathes. But then I also fucking hate that I can't sprawl out and put my leg up in a different way that I want, and that I can't listen to my phone without my AirPods in, because it hurts your ears when you sleep on the AirPod. And so I would like to just have the speakerphone next to my head, which is what I do when I sleep. So there are benefits to both. Do you feel like you're lacking in any way when you can't share a bed? And do you have a separate bed for hanky panky, or whose bed do you go to?
Well, that's a great point about the earbuds, because I listen to a podcast to go to bed every night. I need somebody talking in order to fall asleep. I need a bedtime story, basically. Okay. And it has to be, sometimes I listen to a podcast at night and it's too interesting. And then I'm up for 2 hours and I'm like,
yes. What? Succession. I was choosing that over sleeping. Yeah. I need a podcast that's I need Sam Harris podcast because it's so dense. Mm-hmm. I try to pay attention, and then my brain starts getting tired because I'm trying to figure out what he's using the word partitioned a lot. There's words that I just am so overwhelmed by, that it's so dense that I feel like it makes me fall asleep because my brain gets tired trying to keep up with it. And then Stuff You Should Know is also a good podcast to listen to because those guys have gentle voices. Do you recommend what podcasts do you listen to fall asleep? Anyone's?
I have not found one that consistently makes me fall asleep. Every time I think there's a boring podcast, all of a sudden they come out with a banger episode that keeps me up all night and I can't sleep. I'm like, wait a second. Yeah. Sometimes I'll listen to fantasy football podcasts where they're just listing out players, and that I can fall asleep to usually, because it's okay, they're just this player is pretty fast, and then this player is slow, and then what about this player? Well, he's fast.
The tone of voices is so important. Yes. I just found this ASMR video that is crushing it for me. I want to just direct people to it if they need something to listen to fall asleep to, and it might creep you out because you're not into ASMR, but if you are, this is the one to do. It's her name is Astro Glow 777. She only has she doesn't have that many followers. Astro space Glow 777. Glow 777 is one. And you listen to ASMR magazine flipping, soft spoken. Boom. I cannot get through it. I have listened to it when I am wide awake. I have not gotten past. Every time I go, oh my God, this is the last part I remember. And then I make it maybe one more sentence and then I'm out. And it's worked for me now probably like 7 times. There's also a TED talk about like loving yourself by this like Irish woman that I can't get through
like,
that
I'm
one.
bored.
Oh yeah, I'm like, this isn't working for me.
Wait,
so there's some. Okay, so then
it
you
knocks
listen
out,
to these things
like,
and then
roofies you into sleep.
oh yeah, for sure. If there's something just so soothing about it, there's something about it that just it's like a lullaby. It's like it's just being talked to. I have a theory that people who like ASMR didn't get enough love from their mother as a child in terms of like they were just stressed out as a child and they didn't get like a comforting like voice that like made them feel safe, or they did and it was like the thing they hung like my grandma used to like rub my back and talk like really softly, and it was really like I would only get it once every 2 weeks when I saw her, so I was always like jonesing for it. And not that my mom
so
is like
sweet.
not a loving person, she is, but she just isn't like a soft spoken like things are okay. Like I would just hear them like singing in the next room like Fleetwood Mac, and it would just be like loud and annoying. So okay, back to your sleeping situation. Can we talk about what you do for sexual relations and whose bed you choose, and then how you guys like go like, oh, see you tomorrow? Like how do you like get her out of there?
I'll leave. I'll leave after and go into my room and
You'll leave
and,
before it begins.
yeah, I'll say, you know what, this isn't for me. And
She's like, yeah, I'm good.
thanks, but
I gotta get to my podcast.
yeah, I oh, there's something else I want. I'm not changing the subject, but I wanted to go back to what you were just saying, which now I forgot what you were just saying, so I can't
ASMR, soft-spoken mothers.
I have ASMR. That it affects me. Like when I'm on the subway train, I zone out all the time, and it's interesting that you say that because I did feel like I have a great mom, but I didn't get a lot of. I don't think we're not very like touchy. There's not like a lot of hugging and stuff going on. So that's an interesting theory.
And Molly Shannon has it, and I read Molly Shannon. Molly Shannon was the first celebrity I saw to come out about ASMR because when I first had it, it was really shameful that I liked this thing. It was almost like pornography because it's like these videos are so weird. It was just this community of like weirdos, and we didn't talk about it outside of it. And there would be videos about how to come up to your parents as having ASMR. Like it was a weird thing, and now it's more culturally accepted. But I remember Molly Shannon was the first person on Conan. She talked about having ASMR and liking listening to people like brush people's hair or something. Yes. And that's not my trigger, but sometimes it is. And then I read her book, and her mom died when she was 4, and she never got maternal affection and like and consistent. Like if you didn't feel safe as a child, like I was always scared of monsters, and my parents, I would go like, I'm scared, and they would just be like, go back to bed. There was never any like relief from it. I don't know why I would have done in their shoes. They did the best they could, and they weren't like dismissive of my feelings, but I just didn't ever feel. I was always fearful going to bed, like I was in a war zone or something. Like it was just constantly like shivering under the covers, but I didn't want to be too under the covers because I would get hot, and then I didn't want to expose my skin because then the axe murderer could like chop off my arm, but the blanket would protect me from the axe.
Yes.
So yeah, that's interesting. I think there might be a correlation there. Someone more with a science brain should look into it.
I do also want to say that.
What's your triggers? Why Subway?
Well, the camera where you're like putting your hands close to the camera lens and like it covers like the top 2 corners of the lens. That triggers me, and then the droning.
What?
The lens when they cover up the lens.
Wait, what?
On
why
the
does that?
subway?
So wait.
Down, and then they do.
No. I think he's just talking. This is separate. This is like the videos you watch on YouTube.
Yes, and they'll be like this stuff. There's hand movements.
Oh, so that's like
like
stroking.
brushing. Like, do you like the sounds of brushing, or you like the visuals?
Petting
it's the
your
visual
head.
for some reason. Like you're looking at it, and it's just like you'll see some ASMR videos where they're like constantly moving their hands across the camera.
Interesting. That's why I like it. It's so much like porn because there are so many different ways to get off with an ASMR brain. Like that would never do it for me. Whispering really haunts me when people are like, hi everyone, welcome back, and they like click their fingers or they like tap on something. I'm just like, stop. It's misophonia. Like it hurts my ears. But then a woman just being like, I really like Zoe Kravitz's outfit here.
It's like I like how it's simple and the khakis pair with the white shirt really like perfectly. And I don't know. I think she's really cool.
And then they turn the page. I'm just like, ah! I'm
Yeah.
like my brain is coming.
That
Does
actually
it make
made
you
me zone
guys
out.
feel
Right?
good, or does it just soothe you, or does it produce an actual like?
There's definitely
feeling?
a chemical reaction going off. It feels when I can trigger it, Brian. I don't know about you, but it's like coming a lot. Like it honestly, you have to like kind of stay away from ASMR for a little bit because I think most people who are into ASMR at this point, if you've been doing it more than a year, you have burnt out your ASMR, like the real where it floods down your. Like it's like a spinal tap, like it floods down your spine, it starts in your head, kind of tingles, and it's kind of like goes, it's like a brain
I have
orgasm.
that, but I only have that when someone is talking right above my head, but then it's like a physical thing and I go ah! And it's like amazing feeling but tickly, but that's the only time I get it.
It's
If
not
someone's
that.
talking right by my head. Okay.
That's sexual. I feel like that can be almost sexual because it's like a tickle. ASMR never feels like like Brian, do you agree? ASMR doesn't feel like something like woo, like a roller coaster.
It's post coitus.
Yes.
It's like
okay.
Warmth.
after you have finished, you are laying there and you're just like, nothing. You don't want to talk frequently. You might fall asleep, and it is just kind of like this zoned out. Like what I wind up doing, and this is why it's bad that it happens on the subway for me. Is what I wind up doing is I am just staring into space at nothing, and I can't break the gaze.
Yes.
As soon as I break the gaze, then it's over, and I don't want it to be over. So I'm just like zoned out staring, and then sometimes there's like a guy. I never do it when there's like a woman across me, but when I check myself. But if there's like an old man with a newspaper and he's like, "What the hell is this guy looking at?" And I'm just zoned out. That's bad.
What percentage of the time does this happen to you two when you're listening to ASMR? 100?
Zero for me now. Like it's maybe I get triggered because I'll wean myself off, so I'll just listen to podcasts for a while to soothe myself to sleep. So I won't do ASMR videos. For a while I was watching the eating ASMR videos, and that gives me a soothing feeling. Like let me just say, like for me now, ASMR videos, most of the time it's like having sex but not coming. Like it feels good. And let me just say, most of the time, women don't need to come from sex. Like, I'm fine not coming. Like, I think that men get it in their head that, like, we need to come every time because you do. Because it's, like, what would be the point of just, like... But women can have fun and feel good during sex. And we do want to come. But, like, sometimes trust us if we're, like, we don't need to. It still feels good. So, for me now, I think ASMR is, like, it's intimacy. It feels like intimacy. But then there are times where I've staved myself for a while. And I will get hit by... I'll just go into my YouTube and like find a new kind of trigger, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa. And it lasts probably, I don't know, like it lasts like 20 seconds for like the good feeling. And then it kind of just, then you're in that numb state where you're like, and then I probably fall asleep because I'm so relaxed. It's like, it's the feeling of safety, warmth. It's like it's the best feeling in the world next to orgasm. Like it's right up there with it. And I'm so lucky that I have it. But yeah, I definitely think it's due to mothers who are not that, or children who felt distressed and sought like just a comforting voice like this. But I don't like when they try too hard. Like it's almost like the same way I look at porn. I don't like porn where the girl is like, like it's so obvious that you're acting. I mean, I think most people don't like that. I don't know why it's such a huge part of porn then for everyone to be like, like why is that a part of it?
Like
no one who likes that.
That sounds like a baby crying.
Listen,
well,
I think they know what they're doing. And so I want it to be natural. I want it to be like a woman flipping through a magazine the way she would if she were just like, if her nephew was sitting like in the crook of her arm and she was just trying to like, let's get ready to go to bed and like talking softly, but not trying too hard. I don't like when people are like tapping things too much. I'm like, would you just tap normally like that? No, like stop putting on a performance. I don't want it to be performative, much like I don't want stand-up to be performative. I don't like performative when things are supposed to be real. If that makes any sense.
Yes.
Like I don't like Broadway shows. This is why I don't like Broadway. It is too locked into performative. there's for me, there's just no
Well, Broadway shows are like supposed to be the opposite of real. It's supposed to be as far away from real as
yeah.
it's not a
Yeah, you're
Broadway
right.
play. But like sometimes people say like Broadway shows are cheesy, and I'm like, yeah, that's the whole point. They're supposed to be cheesy.
Yes, totally.
And I
They
think if
should.
you want to enjoy a Broadway show, you just have to go in knowing like it's like when you watch a reality show. It's like
It's embarrassing to watch people act sometimes, and like even if it's like that one. What's that one play that's like My Four Sons or like All My Sons? What's the one that like all the best actors are in? You guys know what I'm talking about. Someone knows what I'm talking about. But like watching like stage
Death of a
actors.
Salesman?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It's about
Nice, Anya.
sons. Thank you. Death of a Salesman.
But that's what you were thinking of with My Four Sons?
I'm not kidding you.
I think there are a
Anya just
bunch of
nailed
sons
it.
in that.
Yes,
Yeah.
there are sons
Willie
in it.
Loman.
And it's like mean dad, sons, salesman, yes. And I saw Brian Dennehy in that in like the St. Louis like traveling production.
Wow.
And I just remember being like, this is awkward. He's just like, we know you're acting. It's like, it's just like right here. And you're like, and then they bow at the end and they're like break character. And it's just kind of embarrassing. Even
Man.
though I'm dying to be in a musical at some point. And I do love musicals.
Have you ever seen Lady in the Fountain? Lady in the
No.
Fountain?
No, what's that?
Oh, wait, no, I'm thinking of Phantom of the Opera. That's
Mask Man.
Yeah, the
Mask
Mask
Man.
Half Mask
Face Off.
Oh, face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I just ASMR needed to be real. Wait, so what was I gonna say? Yeah,
We're talking about his bed
but
habits.
your bed habits.
Can I say something about
When
the
do you
bed
guys
habits?
yeah, please.
There's another reason why we can't sleep in the same bed is because frequently I'll wake up in the middle of the night screaming.
What?
Yeah, I'll be screaming, and I've done it this week because I'm afraid. I have a lot of fear. Well, it's anxiety, and I think it's connected to ASMR too. I think people with high anxiety can experience the ASMR better because they need to chill. But like this weekend, I was afraid that the man next door is going to come attack me,
retaliate.
and so I wake up
Oh.
screaming. And you know, there was one time when I was in college. I lived in a house with 4 other people, and one time I woke up in the middle of the night screaming because I thought I saw a demon in the top right corner, and it looked like a black large hornet flapping its wings. And that
Well,
moment.
that's the thing
when you-
people have.
Yes, you know that moment when you are about to wake up but you're still asleep, and so you're like semi aware.
Yes.
Well, that happened to me. I saw the demon hornet in the corner. I got out of my bed screaming, and I ran through the house screaming. And
When did you realize you were screaming, running through the house, and there wasn't a hornet? Like it dawned on you at some point, and then you had to slow down your pace.
I
and
heard
just
in
kinda,
the
go back to
distance
normal.
my roommate go, "Shut the fuck up!"
And it woke you up out of it.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh god."
Was
That's
there
so
any part of you that
embarrassing.
was like, no, you don't understand? There's a hornet.
I understood
Yeah.
immediately that there was no
Yes.
hornet, and I was like, sorry," and then I went back to sleep.
God, your mind betrays you. Everyone has this where you're like, our mind hijacks us and convinces us of something that's just not real and not happening.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's my deep
Well,
philosophical.
dreaming is like people. Sam Harris, I like that he always says people are scared to do psychedelics, and they're like, "Where's my mind gonna see?" Or they're scared to do. I guess it's like the fear of doing psychedelics. And he goes, every single night, you go to sleep, and your brain enters into a world that you have no conscious control of. That you literally think you're in. You are in a hallucination every single night of your fucking life. What are you scared of? Sleep is no different than tripping. It's just, no one goes to, unless you're in Freddy Krueger movies or unless, I think that there are people that are scared to go to sleep because they have to wake up in the morning and get up and I'm scared of sleeping sometimes, not because of dreams. I'm just scared of I know this day, the next time I open my eyes will be work I have to do. But I'm not someone who like I never fear dreaming. If anything, I'm always looking forward to it. But to do hallucinogens, I'm terrified of that, of like what hornets are going to chase me in that thing. Even though every time I fall asleep, I'm bound to see something. Like I would say once a week I have a scary dream, but I'm not fearful all the time. So I just think that's interesting that we do surrender to this thing that we literally have no idea why it happens, how it happens. Science like has not broken it. Yet we enter into that and we're not totally terrified. We don't judge it. But hallucinate, like, LSD and people are just like, there's so much stigma around that. Have you ever done hallucinogens, Brian?
No, and I am one of the people that's scared of it. The only drug I've done is weed, and every other drug I'm really scared of. And like, did that sound really uncool?
I mean,
The only drug
just done.
I've done
Like doing weed is funny. Yeah.
Yeah, that just shows how I'm not cool. Okay, and I am not cool, and I am proud of it.
Thought you were. No, you are cool.
Story was kind of cool.
Yeah, you're cool. The possum story is cool as fuck.
You have cool stories.
I don't think it's good to be cool. I don't think it's good.
What? Okay, more
It's
on
more
this when we get back. We have to
dangerous.
take a break. We have to hear why being cool is not cool to Brian Frange when we get back. Okay, Brian, we're back. Why is being cool not cool?
Well, I think people that are being cool are generally trying too hard to put on some kind of persona that isn't real, and it makes them it makes them yeah. I listen to the podcast. There's actually there's one thing that I need clarification on.
Okay, fine.
So you used to say very frequently Noah is in Arizona, and I didn't listen to the episode where that became a thing. So I want to know, is Noah in Arizona, or are you saying like there's a city in Arizona?
No, she is in Arizona. She lives in Arizona. Yes.
Okay.
And it was just it just sounds cool, but it's just true.
When I heard that, I looked it up, and it turns out there is a city in Arizona named Noah.
Stop.
Oh,
Not spelled the same way. It has an H at the end. But I was like, maybe that's what they're saying. They're like,
maybe there was like a thing about Noah, Arizona.
Yeah, and it's like it's like as if you were saying like, and if your podcast producer was named Cleveland, if you're like, and Cleveland's in Ohio, it would be like the same thing.
Oh, that's funny.
I thought it was that
good.
joke.
Well, thanks for doing that research and making that thing any more than what it was than just a factual statement that Noah actually lives in Arizona. Brian, I mean, this is pretty much is what you're talking about. Like anyone who's cool has put in effort to be cool, therefore it makes it uncool.
Yes, and it makes them less happy because now they're trying hard to put on a persona and they're not truly being themselves. And I think the coolest thing you can do is be unapologetically yourself.
Yes, honestly, yes, that is. But you know what's so hard is, and I go back to this all the time. Chris always says to me, I've never met someone who wants to be something other than what they are more than you. Like wants to like things that they don't like. And I've talked about this ad nauseum on here, so I apologize. But like, I wish I was someone who liked to bake. I wish I was someone who liked to organize. I wish I was someone who liked clean linens and like to smell them. And like, I always picture Anya, like when you would like fold things and you would just stare at your closet of folded things and you would be like, like I wish I was that kind of person that like liked
It was
folding
your
things.
closet. I was doing.
Yes. Okay. Well, even more so. Why did I had to pay you to do that for me?
I
Like,
wish
why
I could be that person today because I have a pile of shit all over my bed that needs to be folded.
I really would love if you had an actual pile of shit that you needed to fold. But I wish I was that person. And I think that when you are your coolest self, you're okay that you don't like those things. Like but it's so hard for me to. Like I just traveling yesterday. Traveling makes me so depressed because you're just alone all day with your fucking thoughts and you're just on your phone constantly. So you're comparing yourself to everyone, and it's just so hard not to hate yourself for the things that you're not, or like because I always talk about like if you have a good body, it's because you got lucky with genetically, or you're just a person who likes to work out or has a motivation to do so. And if you don't work out, it's not because you're a fat, lazy piece of shit. It's because you just don't have the brain that was. That is conducive to working out every day. And you can't compare yourself to Kirsten Florman, who loves working out because she was born with athletic parents who have that genetic disposition to like working out. Like, it's not because you're a worse person. She just got lucky in that way. But it's hard not to think that why can't I be that way? Like, why did she get that and I didn't, and go down that spiral? I mean, I'm never someone who's like, I need to get off Instagram. But yesterday I was in a bad place with it of like, it's Instagram's trying to get me to kill myself. I think they're really, which is is antithetical to what they actually want, which is me to live and keep spending money. Why are they trying to get us to be suicidal and like hate ourselves so much? And the truth is because you can't sell anything unless someone feels deficient. 100%. You cannot sell a single product. I don't know why I always have known that, but you have to understand no one, even me selling this podcast to you, I have to make you feel in some way that you need this podcast in your life, that your life is not good enough without listening to me in order for you to listen to this podcast. Everything that is a consumer product, you need to convince the consumer, that they're not good enough. In some way, their life is lacking. So there is not a single brand of clothing, a single, face soap or face wash or lip balm or plus sized jumper that is actually trying to make you feel good about yourself. They don't want that. Maybe the people that created it, the woman behind this jumpsuit that cinches at the waist and makes you look thinner, she had a good thought in mind of like, I want to make bigger women feel confident about themselves. If you did actually feel confident about yourself, you wouldn't need this fucking waist tightening suit. So it does not actually, you might think that you want people to feel better about themselves, but you wouldn't sell this thing if people did. If people liked themselves for who they were. The only person who really wants you to like yourself is fucking Lizzo. And she's, and even she's selling Yitty, that clothing line. And to buy that line, you have to feel deficient in some way in your life, that I don't have that cute of leggings. I don't have I would never think that I'm someone that wants people to feel lacking in their life in order to sell what I'm selling, but I must, because that's the only way to sell something.
Yeah, I mean, that's rule number one of sales is I think you have to establish a need, and then you have to make them aware of that need, and then you can say, I have a solution to your problem.
Yeah.
That's why those old school commercials with the vacuum cleaners is always like the black and white picture with the person with the shitty vacuum cleaner going like, oh God, this is so hard. Yeah. And they're like, is this you? And it's like, I guess it is me. And then they're like, well, check out this vacuum cleaner that's in color.
Even like, I feel like what I like to do, my product is making people feel less alone, talking about my insecurities and being honest with myself so that people feel less weird about themselves. But I need you to feel weird about yourself in order to need me.
There's no shortage of that. You don't have to do anything because everyone feels weird about themselves. Like that's the thing about, I think, podcasts and like what you're bringing to the table is that like people, you're not providing the problem. People have the problem no matter what. And you're providing some level of comfort for the problem.
But, products do bring comfort. The massages and, beds, like linen, like nice things, comfy clothes. They bring comfort, but you need to create an air of discomfort in order for that person to buy it. And I just think now when I look at products, I just go like, this product line, no matter how good they are trying to make me feel like they care about me, they don't like me. They hate me. They want me to be. And by the way, if their product solved my problems, I wouldn't need it anymore. And they need repeat customers. They need you to come back. So it's not just, it's pretty disappointing when you think about it all. And I was just yesterday I told Anya, I'm like, I got to get off Instagram. And so we both decided no more for today. And then I asked her to look at something, and then she was like, "God damn it!" And I was like, "Fuck, I got you back on." I
forgot how I told her, I think I'm over it too. I'm good for the rest of the night. I'm not going to get on Instagram. And then I closed my app and I reopened it. And I was like,
well, I told you to look at someone's story that I don't want them to see that I saw their story.
But
and I'm not
I did it.
I will not fucking make it a fake account to stalk people. I will just ask my friends to do it. I'm not ever going to create a fake account to look at someone. I feel like that is so low. I'd rather tell my friends, hey, will you look at her story so she doesn't know that I'm monitoring what she's doing? Like I would rather do that. And then they screenshot it and send it to me. And then I have screenshots in my phone of this person's life. Like it's much more incriminating.
I told
than
my
if I just
friend
created a fake account.
I do this with my friend too. And I'm like, can I FaceTime you through your computer and then you point your phone so I could look at this story?
That's
It's
really
so
good.
lame.
Inventive.
But that's a good idea, though. I mean, my friend the other day, I go, "Is he watching your stories about this person that I was interested and who this person has blocked me on all of their things? So I know they have a secret account to look at my stuff, but I know that I can't ever communicate with them knowing that they see it, you know. And I really want this person to like see how much I hate them." And it's not who you think it is. If whoever is listening, listeners, it's not who you think it is or who you might be thinking. You literally have no idea who this person is. Brian, I'll tell you at some point. But my friend, I know that they follow my friend and that they sometimes watch their stories. And so I was like, put me on your story and I'm just going to be like, "Keh." And I'm just going to do, and she's like, "I have like people watching this." I go, "You have to sacrifice it because it's the only way that I'm going to get my message through to this person is to be like, Keh." And so I like had her, every time I'm with her, I'm like, "Can we please shoot some Kehs to throw this person's way?" And then she screenshots it to be like, "He saw it." I'm like, yes, he knows that I think of, because he knows that I know that he's watching that because she doesn't have that many followers. It's like, it's totally, it's such a low thing for me to do. But final thought. When people watch your Instagram stories, that's how you know they're jealous of you. They like you. They hate you. Like, if that is the number one litmus test, would you disagree? To find out if someone's, like, if I suddenly see a famous person or a certain guy or a certain girl watching my stories, I go, someone's checking in on me. Someone's jealous. Someone's like, it's because I know that's the only reason I watch people's stories. I mean, sometimes you go through stories because you're bored and you're just blah, 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 blah. But if you're going through someone's stories that you've never gone through and you pop up under mine, I know what you're doing.
I mean, I look at your stories. What does that mean?
Because, okay, or you're their friend and you do it all the time. Like, when you watch my stories, I'm not like, "Oh my God, he's jealous or he's checking in on me." I'm just like, it's my friend Brian. Like, that's, okay. There's a caveat there. That's different. When Anya or Noah watches my stories, I'm not like, "Oh, she like is jealous of my skin tone today." I'm just like, and by the way, when I say I think people are jealous of me, I know that they shouldn't be. I'm saying this with like, I'm jealous of people all the time too. And I guess I'm just projecting. When I'm watching someone's stories I don't watch a lot, it's usually because I'm like, what did they get? Oh my God, what are they doing in their life? Why? I'm comparing myself to them being like, well, how am I deficient? Okay, sorry, I interrupted. What did you say?
Well, when you watch a story of someone that you're not following, this definitely applies.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have guys that I've met in passing or, you know, and then suddenly they just start showing up under my Instagram story. And it's a way to flirt. It's a way to go, "Hey, I'm here." When I've been single before, I've done it where I've just start watching guys' stories that I'm not following because I know that my blue check mark is going to send me to the top of their views. And then they'll know I'm interested. And then that starts the discourse in a Bumble type way that is like me making the first move, but not really. And girls, by the way, if you're on Bumble, do not make the first move. That's not going to work for you. Maybe do an emoji, but don't actually say anything like, "Hey, what's your favorite movie?" Like, guys, you can't do that. Girls, don't make the first move. You can make an emoji.
To make the first move? Okay.
Yes, but it has to be an emoji or something. Bumble forces the girls to make the first move, but just do it very subtly, like just a picture, like a like or a tap or something. Don't do an actual sentence.
I think that's fantastic advice. I don't, the question, like a too hard question, I think is not a good thing to do.
Oh no, guys don't want to be interviewed, and yeah, no, don't do that. And then let's real quick, because just for the sake of doing it, because we had it planned, let's do a top one, bottom one.
Okay.
And the category today, because we have the author and creator of applerankings.com, is Brian Frange, which you got to check out applerankings.com. It's so funny. And it really is a passionate, hilarious take on every kind of Apple. And he does like was it like a 9-point rating system? A rubric? You used the word rubric last time?
The F100, the Frange 100. It is my namesake and my legacy. And I have no children. And I say this is all I have. So it's broken down into 9 categories that are 10 points each, except for one category, taste, which is weighted twice at 20 points, and it adds up to 100. And then I do give bonus points for certain factors like use, uniqueness, things like that. But yeah, it's the F100. So it's an out of 100, but it's not like a test where 65 is pass and like you're not good if you're not a 90 or above. It's like it's like a bell curve.
Okay. Well, I don't know what that means exactly, but yes. Okay. So it's just do you feel like your take on these apples is like the right take, or is it just your opinion? Like, do you feel like you have a better palate than most people?
I don't feel like I'm superior to anybody other than that I have tried all these apples, and there's a lot of people who think they like an apple, and it's just that they haven't tried enough apples.
Got it.
Now, there's a few apples that people are passionate about that they all love, and I just can't get behind.
The Honey Crisp.
Well, the Honey Crisp is a top.
Gala, Fiji.
Yeah, so like there's certain apples that many people are like mad at me. Like I get into legitimate
My mouth is
arguments.
watering looking at his site. It's so weird.
Yeah. Well, what do you describe biting into a Red Delicious as? It's
That's
one of my
coffee
favorite.
grinds in a leather glove.
Coffee grinds in a leather glove is what biting into a Red
That's
Delicious
so
is like.
accurate.
Yes, it is a thick-skinned, mealy disgrace, and it used to be a good apple. It used to be a good apple back in the turn of the century.
Well, you get them sometimes. You can get a good Red Delicious where you bite into it and it cracks off. You don't have to go. There's no like. I don't even know if you have a word for that where you have to like put your teeth through it. I like when you bite an apple and you can just go crack and you just crack it off, and it's like a jawbreaker almost. Oh, it's so good. Okay,
those were the days.
Let's do our top one, bottom one today,
do a
and because
rapid
we have
fire.
it's going to be rapid fire. This has to be quick. We're doing fruit. That's the category. Top one, bottom one. Let's start with bottom one because we always do. What is your least favorite fruit, Brian?
Well, I have a new bottom one. It's not the least favorite apple I'm going to do, not least favorite fruit, but that's
okay.
I just found the golden russet apple, which I labeled a putrid corpse because it's like it looks like it's a decomposing, stinking corpse.
Oh,
it looks like the Addams Family. It looks like an apple that they would use.
Right.
It's good for cider production, but the apples that I bought at the farmer's market, they stank like shit.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay.
And so
Ew.
an apple that stinks and looks like a corpse and then it doesn't taste good.
The
That's a pretty
golden.
bad apple.
What did you call it? The golden russet?
Golden russet. It's good for cider
Yeah, it sounds
production.
like a fucking
Isn't a russet a potato?
Yeah.
In apple parlance, russet is the brownish, rust-like skin.
I don't need you to finish that
Marky.
sentence. Okay. So, okay, my least favorite fruit is grapefruit. I don't get it. I know it's like a diety, like everyone loves it. It tastes bitter. It's not good. It doesn't make. I had it in a salad the other day. Anya, you witnessed me eat it. I ate around it, and then I was still hungry at the end, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll eat the grapefruit. And it was just like so gross and bitter. Me no like. Okay, Anya, what's your least favorite?
Love the look of this fruit. Really disappointed by the taste of a dragon fruit.
I don't know what a dragon fruit is.
It looks like, cookies and cream ice cream. It's just
Oh,
white
it has like
with
dots in it?
Yeah, it's beautiful,
Oh, yeah.
but it tastes like shit.
That was
It's
on a
like
fruit plate I got at the
radish.
hotel on Saturday, and I couldn't eat it because I was just like, or on Sunday, and I was like, I don't want to try this. Okay, so it's not a good taste.
Not very good. Just not satisfying,
name.
not sweet. Yeah.
All right, Noah?
My least favorite, I'd have to say, is the orange. Too much work,
wow.
not enough satisfaction at the end.
What about a little cutie?
Yeah, get a little cutie.
Those are no work. Those come off like so easily.
Those
Yeah.
are different.
A scab
the small
on its
ones.
fourth week.
That's like a tangerine is fine, but I just like orange. Not into it. I don't like the
Orange.
flavor.
Please
I like
listen
the way
to
you say
Todd Barry's
orange.
whole bit about oranges. Oranges. He hates
Yeah,
them. and
Noah
he has
says
a very long
orange.
bit.
Wait, do you say orange, Brian? You're
Orange.
Okay.
Orange. Is that right?
Do you hear the difference, Noah?
Orange.
And you say
orange.
water.
Water.
Yeah. Cute. Okay. Orange. Orange. So, okay, let's get to the best. What's your favorite fruit? Sweet Tango.
Favorite apple? Yeah, is a Sweet Tango apple. It's a crisp, crunchy apple that's only available in September and October of every year. If you get it outside of those months, then it's probably been frozen and shipped from New Zealand. It's not going to taste as good unless you live in New Zealand.
Oh my God. Rapid fire. Good to know.
Wow.
Sweet Tango.
said
Try
that
it out, you
1,000
guys, this
times.
fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. My favorite fruit, this is going to be controversial. Honeydew. I love it. It is fresh. It is light. It is always sometimes it can be like if it gets like it turns. I think that's when people get turned off from the honeydew is it can easily turn and ruin a fruit salad and just be that stinky kind of like mildewy thing. But a fresh honeydew, I like the color. It's a soothing color. It's feels light on sugar, so you can eat a massive amounts of it, which I love. Anything that you can just eat a ton of and never stop, and it's really like hydrating. I just think it's so fresh. I like it better than cantaloupe. I know that's a hot take, but that is how I feel.
That is a hot take. Honeydew needs to be perfectly ripe.
No, I'll take it. I'll take it crispy. I'll take it I just like it I like it any way. I'm a melon head, as Chris used to call me, because I would just eat melon all day. And I took a break from fruit for a while because I was just like trying to avoid sugar. But now I'm back in the honeydew. Why pizza and honeydew? I'm back in, baby.
Yeah.
I love it too much. Not combined, obviously. Okay, Anya, what is your favorite fruit?
Well, even though I went through a huge mango phase, as Nikki knows, and a mango recently took out part of my tooth bonding, I have to go with Braeburn apples. They're crispy, they're dependable, they're delicious, and
Braeburn. Aren't those kind of like? Aren't those like when you bite into it, it goes like
No, it breaks off.
Or is it?
I think.
It breaks off. Okay.
Yeah. What do you think?
Braeburn's
Brian?
not a bad
Can you
apple.
tell us about Braeburn?
Braeburn is I call it the civil rights apple because it was back in the 50s. Back in the 50s, single-colored apples were the rule of the day. You had a red apple and a green apple, but you didn't have any apples that would sell that were multicolored. And the Braeburn was the first apple that was both red and green, and it took over the marketing because people were like, this is a brand new...
It was like those cotton candy grapes. People were like
It's a
blown away by
non-binary.
it.
It paved the way for multicolored apples to become a part of apple.
It's like the Winnie Harlow of apples.
But they are disappearing because they are susceptible to certain diseases and they're really hard to make. And so there's a lot of Braeburn children that have Braeburn parentage that are becoming more popular than the Braeburn. And over the next 10 years, you're probably not going to see Braeburns outside of farmers markets or orchards. They're going to disappear.
I mean, you look like this close-up shot of you. It looks like an NPR guy giving like a
Insane person.
agricultural front lines report.
Yes.
Okay, good to know. Thank you so much, Brian, for informing us about the heritage and the future of the Braeburn apple. And then Noah, what is your favorite fruit?
Okay,
this is gonna be crazy. I just know your answer is gonna be insane.
Okay, my true favorite fruit is the apricot. But I'm going to say...
that, again, insane. What the fuck? Like, those are only consumed dry. Has anyone ever had a wet apricot?
Yes.
A wet apricot. They're not wet. That's the problem.
Isn't that the one that
Stone
Army
fruit.
Hammer fucked and
That's a
and
peach.
ate? Or is that someone's arm?
That's another stone fruit.
Okay, yes. Okay, stone fruit, is that what you call it?
Yeah. Because
They have a little core that's a stone?
a pit.
Oh, okay. Never heard of that.
I like
Okay,
that the pit is like always clean. There's like never any like tentacles or anything like that.
Oh, that's a good point.
Tentacles.
A clean pit.
Yeah,
All right. And then what you said, but
But I want to hear Brian do a rapid fire about my favorite apple, which is the Granny Smith.
whoa.
Yeah.
Controversial. Bitter.
Very,
Granny.
very divisive apple. It's an apple that I get a lot of flack for because I rank it very low because I think it's sour. It's definitely the most sour
It's made
apple.
for baking, right?
It's a baking apple. I give it a 57 out of 100. It's too thick-skinned. It's very
making my
dense.
stomach hurt thinking about
My
it.
mouth is
Yes.
watering again.
It makes your gums bleed. It's scientifically
My
proven
gums
to
are
make your
bleeding.
gums bleed.
Yes.
Yes, if you eat too many
That's the
Granny
new mouth
Smiths,
watering.
your
It's
gums
just
will
blood.
bleed. Your tooth enamel will erode. But it also has a lot of fiber, so it's good for pooping. And it's,
You just
it's a
solved
good
something
baking
for me from childhood because I love Granny Smith, but one time I bit into one and there was blood in it and I thought I ate a worm. But now you're explaining to me
But
why.
worms don't really have blood,
Yeah.
do they? Maybe they do. I don't know. I don't go fishing.
There's actually an
That's so
enzyme.
funny.
There's an enzyme in the Granny Smith apple that makes certain people's gums bleed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Brian,
Well,
can I ask you really quick? My mom is from Kazakhstan and she claims that apples originated in Kazakhstan. And there's actually a book called that. Is it true? Do you know this?
100% true. That is where the original apple came from. Wild apples all came from Kazakhstan.
Thank you. Spasiba.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I just got a text that my sister's dog is being put down today. So we gotta go. Everyone, R.I.P. Wilson. He's filled with tumors and he has to be put down today. I just got a text. I'm so sorry to end on a sad note, but that is the circle of life. He ate a bad apple. Oh, sweet Willie. It's so sad. Fuck. Okay, I'm sorry to end it on that, but I have to go because I am going to the dermatologist to get a bunch of stuff injected in my face. So I'll look different next week. There will be one less dog in the world, but maybe I'll add a dog to my life. I know, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bug everyone
Oh my
out, but
God.
it's going to be okay. He'll go peacefully surrounded by his loved ones, and it's a better solution for him than living with all these tumors. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Have a great weekend. Love you, and don't be cut. And jackfruit was not talked about, but is that a fruit? We'll discuss never.